Hi guys, this is Lisa. I know it's a little impromptu. Um, I supposed to do this a couple weeks ago, but anyway, wishing everybody. I hope everybody had a happy and safe holiday. I hope your family is awesome. Hope you're all doing okay. Okay, we're still talking about mental health. And I have to say, I'm not one to usually have panic attacks. I think the last time I had a panic attack, it had to have been in the 90s, the late 90s. The last time I had a panic attack. But it seems like here lately I've been starting to have them a little bit more frequently than I care to have, because it's painful and it's also scary because you don't really know if it's a heart attack or if it's a panic attack. In my case, it was a panic attack, you know. So, you know, I'm going to see him. We're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about this, because mental health is not a joke. This is something serious that we have to take into consideration when we're dealing with our own health. See, a lot of times when we hear people say, make sure you're healthy, nobody stops to think about the mental aspect. Everybody's like, oh, well, I feel great. Ain't no pain. But it's more than just being physically healthy. You also have to be mentally healthy, you know? And like I, you know, I have to in my therapy session I have to write like an impact statement of what I was like before I came into the therapy and now after therapy, and and that to a degree is kind of, you know, panicky. I mean, because I know that the way I went into it, I didn't really have all the tools that I needed to deal with what I was going through. Like, like if I'm watching TV and all of a sudden I get angry. See, one of the tools that I got was stop, evaluate it, figured out what it is that triggered that, and try to kind of put things into perspective, you know. I have to say that's a valuable tool because I've been using it quite frequently. Whenever I feel sad, I have to stop and evaluate and figure out, okay, now I know I'm feeling sad. Why am I feeling sad? What was the cause of feeling sad? And what was the trigger that caused me to feel sad? And then once I do that, then I can put down the positive effects of that. Okay, you know, I felt sad, because X, Y, and Z. You know what? This too shall pass. You know, it's like I tell people all the time, you know, because I keep hearing people say, well, anger is illegal. No, 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 no. Any emotions that we have is natural. What is unnatural and what makes it illegal is what we do with those emotions. So a man finds his wife cheating on him. He mad. He hurt. So instead of him dealing with it in a logical way, the first thing he wants to go do is shoot somebody or go hurt somebody. That's the point that it makes it illegal. when you wanting to do bodily harm to somebody else, it's not the fact that he was hurt. It's not the fact that he was angry, because by all counts purposes, he had every right to be angry and hurt. That was his wife. But then, see, that's where the line is drawn. Because instead of taking that and dealing with it in a positive way, all he's seeing is the red. And when you constantly sit on that red, it's like a balloon. It goes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually it erupts. And that's what makes it illegal. Not the fact that we have these emotions, it's what we do with those emotions that make it illegal. You know? And trust me when I say I've been in situations where if I hadn't have pumped my brakes, I could probably still be in jail. But then see the flip side of me. I'm a firm believer. I have too much God in me. Okay, so me hurting somebody else, I really don't see it. Don't provoke me though, but I don't see it. You know, because hurting somebody, because just like the husband and the wife, right? Because at the end of the day, you've done did everything you wanted to do. You done took vengeance. You done hurt somebody. Now, at the end of that day, do you feel better? One. And two, now you're in prison. Was it worth it? Just putting it out there, y'all. Because to me, at the end, it's not worth it. You know? So, so, and like me, I've been in position where I probably could have. Even till this day, I'm back in New York. My rape took place in Long Island, New York. I wouldn't know how I would react if I was to even see this guy face to face again. I don't know. You know, but thank God, hopefully he ain't even in the state no more. You know, and it's like that for a reason, and I pray to God it stays that way. Because honestly, I don't know what I would do if I ever saw him face to face. Same with the guy that sexually assaulted me on active duty. What would I do if ever come face to face with him? I don't know. A lot of people would say, "Oh, I let that go," or whatever. But you can't really say that until you're forced into that situation, because what your lips saying now may be a whole different situation when you're put in that situation. Okay, and then you got your friend said, "Well, you said you was nothing. You said it was like, because, but you didn't know. You don't know if you unless you put into a certain situation of how you're going to react." That's why I said I would like to think I can say, you know what, I forgave you and keep it moving. But honestly, I would like to think I would say that, but I can't say that for sure because honestly, I don't know. I don't know. You know, Now in September and October, no, September, hold on. In September and November, I just passed the anniversary dates of my rape and the sexual assault. The sexual assault happened in September of 89. Wait, I'm doing this backwards. Okay, the rape took place November 88. Sexual assault took place September 89. So, and I just passed that anniversary. And I have a friend of mine tell me, well, how come you sleeping too much? You know, because I was probably depressed, you know. And then I turned around and lost somebody who meant so much to me that I've known since 91, 2. I've known him for 90 since 92. And then he passed away 20 years to the date my mother passed away. My mom passed away October 31st, 88. He passed away October 31st, 2000. And I can't even begin to tell you the guilt. This man did ask me to marry him before he died, and that was even before we even knew he was going to die. So when I did decide to come up and say, you know what, let's go for it, it was he was already gone, and that's my burden I bear, and that's my guilt, you know. So as you can see, I got a lot of hurts, you know. I got a lot of hurts. No, I'm not crying. My eyes are running. And I don't know why. I got on makeup. Don't want to run my makeup. Um, it's always this eye. Um, so I have a lot of hurts. I have a lot of pains. You know, his birthday is coming up the 29th of this month. He's an Aquarius. And he's about 10 years older than me. So what, 50, he would have been 57 in January. Is that right? 67? Yeah, he would have been 67. I'm 56. You know, and that's the thing because, you know, he was it. He was my BFF, my confidant, my crazy my crazy partner, and I loved him to death with all my heart. And that may be the reason why I'm not interested in dating now, because that pretty much put a kabasa. And then too, I'm also at the point where sometimes I think maybe I'm not supposed to have anybody, because it seemed like the ones that get close to me die. So it's one of them questions. Okay, God, what are you trying to tell me? And I know you say I may be in this world, but I'm not part of this world. Because if that's the lesson that you're trying to teach me, lesson heeded, lesson heeded. And that's the reason why I push pull people away. because I don't know if I can stand another person close to me dying. I don't know if I can take it. I done suffered so much with that. And that also wreaks havoc on my mental health, because then that's where it comes in, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not supposed to have somebody. Maybe I'm not supposed to be loved. The only one person loves me, that's probably all I need, because he's the only one that can fix anything and everything. So it's like I look back on my past and I know a lot of times, you know, was my fault. And I'm going to own that one. I'm going to own it. Years I refused to own it, but I'm going to own it today. With my ex husband always accusing me of cheating because I wasn't having sex with him, but I wasn't cheating. I just didn't want to be touched, and that happens a lot with people who suffer sexual assaults and rapes. It happens. It would be unusual if it didn't happen. You know, One of the things I also learned from a group that happens. When I said I was a little Miss Loosey Goosey running around in military sleeping with this one, that one, and the other, and the third, I just thought I was just being a little loose goosey. You know, I just thought I was being just loose and promiscuous as I want to be. But that's not it. It's because of the sexual assault and rapes that I've gone through. That happens. You know, and with my ex husband, I had it like twofold. Because when we were dating, it was good, but when we got married, I just didn't want to be touched. And that was one of the questions. That why is it that when women that have been sexually assaulted and raped, why is it that when it comes to one night stands, we can do one night stands all day long, all day, every day, and not have an issue? When it comes down to something committed, it's like, nope, take that thing away from me. I am not here for it, you know. And then the thing too is that people that haven't been, people that haven't been through what I've been through, because I suffer PTSD from my sexual assault. It's always this eye. I don't know why this eye is always running. Put a little makeup on my eyes. Um, y'all ain't gonna believe this. Dementia. I was going somewhere with it, and dementia just kicked right on in. Um, Flip. Flip Wilson. What's going on? I, okay, okay. We just gonna have to move on. Maybe eventually it'll come back to me. I just had a serious brain fart, so maybe it'll come back to me. I don't know. If it does, it'll probably be 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh yeah, I remember. I'm leaving. At least it's 3 o'clock. Go back to sleep. You remember shit, you know. But and it's like right now, you know, I've been living on my own for a while now, and I'm okay. I'm okay. The question is now, do you want somebody? Do I want somebody in my life? I don't know, because I kind of like my peace. I might like it a little too much. I think I done got comfortable with peace and the solidarity and all that good stuff. I don't think I done got too comfortable with it, you know. So trying to introduce somebody else into it, I think I might get offended. I might offend myself. Damn, is that even possible? Can you offend yourself? Because I think I would be offended. And ain't nobody do it to me but me. So I offended myself. That's it. I'm on a timeout. Go stand in the corner and think about what you um and like I'm also an ordained minister, so I'm trying to I'm writing up a sermon that I want to talk about, and it's love, you know. And love gets you through everything. It can get you through anything if you let it, you know. And my arms are open wide, and whatever I'm going through right now, I know I'm going to get through, you know. I know God's got my back, you know. And I'm not trying to turn this into a Christian thing. I'm just saying that without him, I wouldn't even be here. Look, I'll put it to you this way. If it wasn't for him carrying me for so long, throughout all these years, y'all wouldn't even know Lisa Spence existed, you know. But you know what? That's not up to me to tell me when it's my time to go. That's not up to me. That's up to him. So until he says it's time, I'm just gonna be having to. I'm gonna just deal with it. I'm mentally exhausted. You know, and then I have to stop and think and say, I have to stop and think and say, but Lisa, all this happened back in '88 and '89, and you never once dealt with it. This is the first time in history that you're actually dealing with it and you're talking about it more. I mean, even so far as going on the internet and telling your experiences, because I know there's somebody out there that's still suffering, and the whole purpose of this is to let them know they don't have to suffer. There are people out there that's been through something like you. I'm not going to say every instance is the same. What I say is the situations may be different, but the end result is always the same, you know. And if I can just help one person just by telling my story and letting it be known that if I can get through it, you can too, you know, then my job is done, you know. Mental health is, and then the thing too, you got to think about it, the stigma around mental health. That comes back from, oh man, that stems back centuries, centuries, centuries. Shit, probably even selling witch trials. You know, somebody have a seizure and you think they possessed, and all of a sudden you want to go and either set them on fire because you think they a witch, or they possessed. Okay. The only thing that would convince me you possess is unless you start levitating on air or climbing backwards up the wall. See, then I must be like, nope, nope, nope. People be like, Lisa, where you going? I don't know, but I'm getting the hell up out of here. That motherfucker just walk up backwards on the ceiling. No, 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 sir. We ain't doing that. I'll try to call a priest on the way down. I'm not. I no. And that's how, and I think that's where the stigma of mental health begins. Because instead of saying this is something mentally wrong with them, you just want to automatically put them on a stake and burn them or exercise them. You know, and I think that's what a lot of the stigma stems around. But we're in a whole new different day and age. Come on, we got same sex marriages, same sex adoptions. We got, you know, medication for this stuff. You know, we got the DSM-5. You know, if y'all don't know what it is, it's a diagnostic statistical manual. It's like a PDR. The PDR is the physician's physician desk reference. Well, the DSM is sort of semi kind of like that. That's how. That's how you get um charged. Because what they do is they go into that DSM manual and they look up, what it is you have. And next to that, they have a code. They have like a 5-digit code next to it. And as they filling out the forms for Medicaid, you know, or even if you're paying out of pocket for a bill, you'll see what it is you was treated for, the code for it, and then the pricing for that code. And that's how you get billed. That's how Medicaid is built. So I know these things because I took up a little medical coding and billing back in the day. So I know these things. So that's and then even being in alcohol and substance abuse classes, you know, like I said, you got the DSM, which you can go into and say somebody is schizophrenic, but then what kind of schizophrenia are they? Are they schizophrenia without the voices or schizophrenia with the voices? They got the subtext underneath it, so you can't just say somebody is schizophrenic. You have to say schizophrenia with or without. You know, that's just an example. I'm not saying that's it, but I'm just trying to give an example, that there's subtext underneath each diagnosis, you know. So, and anyway, mental health. Mental health. Okay. That was a fleeting thought. Okay. I know I was going somewhere with mental health with that. But okay, just in the DSM manual, they have different types of mental health. Okay, you got your bipolar, you got your schizophrenia, you know, you got obsessive OCD, you got the uh personality disorder. You got all these things, but all these things have little subtext underneath. Or is it with what? Is it with this? Is it with that? Is it with this? Is it with that? So so once they figured it out, then that's how when they fill out the form, they they get the diagnosis, they get the code, and then they put it in the form, and that's how you get charged, because they charge you by that code. You know. Um. Okay, I probably just veered off, but anyway, mental health. But all I'm just saying is that there's so many things today that you know you just can't look past mental health, and a lot of people will try to sweep it under the rug. This day and age, you can't do that. You know. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little story. Okay, and my sissy Candace watching it. Hi, sissy. And you know the story I'm getting ready to tell. So when I was in Washington State, right, I was living in a studio apartment, and no, 1 bedroom apartment. And next to me there was a veteran. He was a veteran, and he lived next door to me. So I was having all kinds of issues with this guy because I didn't know where the hell it was coming from. I really did not, you know, because it was one day he was cussing me out. Okay, mind you, I never said anything to this man. Okay, one day he was cussing me out. The next minute he apologized, bringing me a watermelon, and then maybe a day or two later he's cussing me out again. And then the next day I was so watermeloned up by the time this was over. I'm surprised I still like watermelon. Because this went on for a while. You know, so finally I sat down with the landlord because I think that the final straw was he had his son visit, and me and some of my friends, we sitting out in the front lawn, and we just chit chatting, not even thinking about the kid, right? We just chit chatting. But now he's threatening my life because he said I said something about it to his kid, which I didn't. Nobody did. So I'm like, okay. So I went into the landlord's office and the assistant landlord and him, and we all sat down and had to have a mediation. Well, one thing went to, it started out on the right side of the spectrum, and somehow we went under the way on the left side of the spectrum, right? Talking about, I was talking about how I feel threatened because, you keep saying, making threats to me that you didn't like what I was saying to you and blah 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 blah. Yet I haven't even cracked my lips to say anything to you. I try not to even acknowledge you. And then the next day you buy me a watermelon to apologize, and the back and forth. And I just couldn't do it no more. And then the straw was with your son. And when we talked about that, I said, but we never talked about your son. We never even acknowledged your son. I was sitting outside with some other people having a conversation. We never even acknowledged your son. People, I think ET is living among us. Because if there was ever an ET moment, that was because all of a sudden he started talking about aliens zapping him from underneath the floor, and then he's got to put aluminum foil all through his house so that they can't read his mind and his thoughts. And I'm like, Now, me and my landlord and assistant landlord, we all looking at each other like, what the fuck? What the hell just happened? You know, it was like somebody changed the station and we didn't know it. We was like, fuck, E.T. has phoned home. Okay, E.T., you need to come get your member because I think he lost on Earth. But that was the scenario. Okay, one day, Pierce County cops had been called to his house. Okay, come to find out, this man had guns, and I'm not talking handguns. I'm talking about rifles, and they wound up giving it back to him. Talking about feeling unsafe. I said, "What's to say this man don't knock on my door? I go to answer, and he don't blow me away because he thought I said something to him. What's the cause of that happening? So you just gonna give him back the gun, and then I'm in fear because ain't no telling which way this man gonna go. I mean, come on, we went from me talking to your son to aliens zapping you underneath the floor and reading your thoughts and stuff. You know, I'm not even going to laugh at that because that's a serious case of mental health. But the problem with that, if it's left untreated, like in my case, that man could have blew me away at any given point, and he'd have felt justified, even though there was no justification. You know, people mental health is not laughing. It's not. I know sometimes we like the kid and laugh a lot, but you know, seriously, on a serious note, that's not a laughing matter because that can seriously put your life in jeopardy, especially if you're having a problem with the person that's got the mental health issues. In my case, so I'm gonna leave it right here for now. I have some time and painting to do. But I just wanted to drop one because I said I was supposed to a couple weeks ago, and I got sidetracked, holidays and stuff. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. And yes, I'm working on a sermon. I said maybe the end of this month, but it's looking like maybe February because I really want to get this sermon together and I want to do it right. Many times I've been to church. I should know this like the back of my hand. Um, so with that said, everybody please have a blessed, safe day. Stay warm. Um, and Sissy, if you out there listening, please give me a contact. I read about the tsunami alerts over there in the West Coast. Let me know that you're okay. I love you. I love you, Sissy. And I love you guys too. So take care. Stay blessed. Stay warm.